When we are talking about layer security or layer defense, it's all like we need to be focused about the zero trust layers. It all starts with identity, endpoint, applications, data, infrastructure, and the network. So let's see like how Microsoft is providing this layered security and layered defense by the commonly used applications and the layers by all the organization. It starts with applications, like all the organizations will be using and relying on the applications where they'll be having a different kind of classifications of the Office application, which will be used for their personal communication purpose, and they'll be using and relying on third-party applications where they'll be using for HRMS and LMS platforms, and also like they'll be developing the custom applications for their own operations. So this is based on the applications on how they're depending on, and these applications, the identity or the users are going to use that application. So there are two different categories of users, will be like internal users or external users, and those users, these applications will get executed on the devices. So these are the connected systems. If you go for any organization, people will be using main commonly layer as the layer like identity, devices, and applications. Let's see how Microsoft is providing security on each of the layers. For identity security, like we have like Microsoft Entra and Microsoft Entra external ID for protecting the identity level security and configurations for doing the conditional access and all other security configurations. We have Microsoft Intune where we can able to provide a MDM and MBM policies for all kind of corporate and bring our own devices kind of scenarios. And for applications and the data which has been reside and maintained inside the applications, we having the Microsoft Purview to maintain the compliance and security of the data which is being protected inside the applications on whatever like we are using it. And also like we have the continuous monitoring and continuous remediation scenarios and the solution which has been provided by Microsoft for each layers that has been defined here. For users and identity, we have a Defender for identity. It will have a continuous monitoring about the identity and behavior and the analytics of the users on what kind of data they have been using and where the login footprints are going to happen. And for devices, like it has the vulnerability scanning and the patch management on how the device is and how compliant the device is, and what are the remediations that you need to take if there is any malicious code or malicious application have been executed on the devices, on how it needs to quarantine the device and take a remediation actions. And for data and the application that is being used and the data loss and other scenarios, we have a Defender for Office apps, Defender for Cloud apps, and Defender for Cloud to protect all the infrastructure and network level security. And as a combination, like if you want to enhance your security, every layer which we are talking about, it needs to be connected. So that comes like the Microsoft Sentinel. Microsoft Sentinel will connect all the identity, devices, and application and all other zero trust layer into the Microsoft Sentinel and consolidation, and where we can able to scrutinize the data or the logs or how we need to get, and we can maintain the one single consolidated way and see like where the data has been moving and how the attack has been happening and how the privilege escalation has been happening between the each layers, so that like we can have a very good understanding and very good overview about the infrastructure and the overview of our security landscape, and we can able to determine where the attack is going and how it is happening. If we want to remediate, we can able to quickly fix or quickly identify where exactly we need to focus. So Microsoft Sentinel, it provides the complete like overview of like how our organization security posture is. And also like Microsoft has been providing security copilot, which will help by having all this layer connected, can able to see if you enter like what happened for the particular user, it will automatically provide you like these are the places this particular user has been logged in, and these are the places the attacks have been happened and the malicious code have been executed, and these are the layers like that the data has been compromised. You can able to see everything in one single page. That it's a more benefit and more like time-saving process when you are doing the troubleshooting scenarios.
And also like one more point to emphasize about the Copilot here, right? So AI based to defend against an AI based attacks and use AI for defense purpose, we wanted to have the correlation between the data that is happening on the endpoint, identity, and Office apps and the data. So we need to have the correlation between these things. So having the consolidated one platform approach brings all the correlation into one single umbrella. With that, like AI, like Copilot, have more contextual data over the security things is happening. So it can relate the events correlated with the endpoints and group the users who are having the similar threat pattern. So in times of investigation, it gives us an upper hand for the security operation team to detect and respond to any security events in a faster meantime. So that gives them advantage of using AI in the defense mechanisms as well. And one more advantage of having the consolidated experience is like adopting to the licenses. So if you have any of this license like E5, EMS E5 or E3 or EMS E3, right? So Microsoft comes, most of these license suites comes with these products. So if you can get a complete advantage of these things. So if you go for if you are an enterprise, like you can adopt for E5, or like you are a small business like which is less than 300 users, you can opt out for business premium license. So with that licensing, you get most of this security features combined built in. You can not just about the security, also for the modern work and productivity tools comes with this license. You can get a better value for money in the security budget.
Yeah, and if you have Microsoft ecosystem, and if you have like a business premium or E5 within you, you don't need to rely on any third-party applications or any third-party solutions for your security. Like you can able to do everything as a whole in single Microsoft ecosystem for entire Microsoft security that you are talking about.
Yeah, if you already have using Outlook or Teams for your collaboration, it makes more sense to adapt to the Microsoft security ecosystem. So that's about it. So we talked about the layered defense thing. Like let's see like how this layered defense works in the ransomware attack. So we'll talk about like how ransomware attack works and what security tools comes into the picture in terms of protecting against and defending against the ransomware attack.